Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my pop-up podcast where I talk about the American Song Contest. And it's a big day, you guys. We're talking about the finale. Woo! Finally, we have gone through 8 weeks of competition, and we finally know who wins. And drum roll, please. It's Alexa from Oklahoma. She is the big winner and even managed to break the trophy immediately. So I can't believe this wasn't actually on the live stream, but it was online on Reddit. So I saw this clip and it must have happened after the live broadcast happened. Trophy's broken, you guys. So hopefully she got that fixed. But all right. Anyway, I'll talk about that more later as well. As you guys know, I do these intros after I've done the whole episode. But all right, let's get into it. I'm talking about the final episode of the American Song Contest 2022. Okay, so let's talk about the final episode. They managed to drag it out 2 hours, but I'm okay with it this time because they actually spend a decent amount of time going through the results. So let's talk about that first because they finally explained how the voting works. You know, it took the entire competition, it took 8 weeks for them to finally explain how all of this works. It certainly helped, and I am going to assume that it was a similar system for the previous rounds, you know, but still, I mean, I'm still very confused on how they picked the wild cards and, you know, what were the exact numbers when it came to the state's votes. And I don't know. I feel like it was never properly explained until the finale. So they did a very nice infographic animation to explain how all the points were going to work. And I was just like, great. It's like Eurovision. But I do understand, like, the Eurovision point system is also confusing at first. Like, I didn't understand it for a little while either. So even after it was all explained, I'm sure there were plenty of people watching that, like, did not understand what was going on with all the 12 points and whatnot. But yeah, that was exciting to find out that it was very similar to Eurovision. Each state, I believe, was given like 12 points to hand out to whichever state they voted for and whatnot. Now, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because we haven't talked about the individual acts yet. But when they showed the jury results, like, okay, the jury has basically stayed consistent this whole time in terms of what they like and dislike, or what they're going to award the most points to. And I guess that wouldn't surprise me since the jury members are the same every week. But also, I guess it was just like not that exciting then. They announced all these jury votes, and in the end, it looked exactly like we've always seen the jury votes. So for example, Alan Stone got the most jury votes with 105 points. And then second was Tennessee, Tyler Braden. And those were the first 2 jury votes that made it directly to the final, you know? So basically, the jury has always loved these 2 songs, and they were always going to be at the top every time that they had to reveal jury votes. What was a little different, I suppose, was just kind of seeing how the rest of the performances panned out. And we'll get to this later, Riker Lynch has always been consistently at the bottom with the jury. And as we found out, the audience loves Riker Lynch. And I have a lot to say about that. Mostly just, I mean, if you've been keeping up with my episodes, I've already talked about how that song doesn't do it for me. I don't get the hype. I don't know what I'm missing. I mean, it is a catchy, fun song, but I don't think of it more than that. I'm not like, wow, this song's amazing. but the audience has been voting this song through every time. So I am missing something clearly. But the jury, not a huge fan of this song, clearly. Okay, so I was wondering if every state was awarded at least 1 point or something, because there's only 10 performances. So, and it looks like that is the same. Yeah, I guess in Eurovision, they give 10 of the performances points. So they do, 12 points, 10 points, and then 8, 7, 6, all the way to 1. The thing is, overall, it was still Washington and Tennessee, and they still did not like Riker Lynch. And I guess none of these performances seemed to grow on any of these judges. I don't know. So I guess I'm just thinking how maybe anticlimactic it was that for the jury votes, the results were not surprising at all. They were pretty much what we expected. And then the big surprise was the audience votes. And until this final competition, like, we didn't really know the exact audience votes, right? So that was a huge surprise, was kind of seeing how every state, well, not that we know exactly how every state voted, but to see which performances did receive the most points was maybe a bit more surprising. And in my previous episode, I talked about how, like, Alan Stone was my favorite song, but he kept being voted through by the jury. So then I was worried, what if, like, the audience didn't really like him? And then I said the same thing about Tennessee. So it was interesting. Tennessee ended up getting last place because it got the fewest audience votes. And then Washington was in the middle of the pack. I think Washington actually ended up in 5th place. Let me see. I wrote it down here. Yeah, so Washington did end up in 5th in the middle. So I wasn't too crazy. It's like, okay, people do like Alan Stone, and people like Tyler Braden as well. But I was just always surprised that Tyler's song kept getting voted through by the jury, because that one didn't really interest me much. But neither did Riker Lynch. So I don't know. Anyway, so we'll get a little bit more into the results at the very end here, but I'm just going to do a quick run through of the performances because there were some changes. So I'll just kind of, touch on all of that before we talk about the winner and how everything went. I've already talked about all these performances twice now, so hopefully I won't have to spend too much time on it this time around. First, we start off with Michael Bolton. And okay, before his performance starts, we've already seen him, like, walk out when they announced his name, and he just looks very, like, just tired. I don't know. He just kind of looks like he didn't want to be there a little bit. I'm not sure. And I feel like that was verified again and again throughout the evening. So first performer was Michael Bolton, again from Connecticut, and the song was Beautiful World. Now, I was definitely enjoying this performance for about a minute until an emergency weather alert came up. And then this lady from the news was talking about all these tornado warnings that were not even near us. And she talked for like 10 minutes. I missed the rest of his performance, went into commercial break, and I'm very upset about it. I mean, like, yes, I get it. It's important to warn people about tornadoes, but, like, chop chop. She did not need to spend almost 10 minutes telling us about it because I can see the map, you know? Ugh. And what was even more annoying is it had nothing to do with us. It was, like, already past the Twin Cities. Heading into Wisconsin, like, that's Wisconsin's problem now. Okay, well, anyway, I missed the rest of his performance. I'm sure it was great. And I don't know. I mean, based on the previous performance, the previous one he wasn't as strong vocally, but this one he was doing pretty well until he got cut off. But yeah. And then I guess based on, might as well list some of the results as I go through these here. So based on the jury, Michael Bolton received 40 points, and then from the audience received 298 points. Or this might be even a better visual of it. In the jury, he got 8th place, and then the public, he got 6th place. So overall, he ended up in 7th place. Okay, right in between. So yeah, even though his song has been one of my favorites since week 1, I didn't expect it to win. And I was looking at my own rankings from last week where I tried to predict the order. And I remember thinking like I placed him too high. I placed him, I think, in 3rd place. But I think that was just because of how much I like the song. Realistically, I was debating, I think, if I should put him more towards 8th place or so. I didn't end up switching it, but that's all to say that I'm not surprised that he placed in 7th. So I feel like that was about right. Then the second performance, we had North Dakota, Chloe Fredericks, Can't Make You Love Me. And this is the 3rd time that she has just killed the performance. She's great. Really amazing. And to start off a song like that is risky, but she pulls it off. Like to start a cappella and so powerful. So yeah, she's great. And and then I said they went all out on this one. They doubled up on all the fire. I felt like some of these performances was just as much as they could put into it. And I think this time, I don't know if she was walking around before, but at one point she takes the mic off and walks a bit in front. It was great. Just tiny adjustments on that one that they made. And let's look at the numbers here. Oh, my mouse stopped working. That's annoying. Okay. She was 6th place with the jury, 48 points. With the public, 9th place with 219 points. Okay, so that one's reversed. She got a lower ranking with the public vote. And overall, she ended up in 9th place with 267 points. And then Snoop Dogg had even said that it got better with every performance, and I totally agree. I would say her 3rd performance was my favorite, and it definitely grew on me over the past couple performances. So then number 3, we had Grant Knoche. You guys, I was saying it wrong every time, and I feel awful because I really thought I was saying that right. Grant Knoche from Texas, song Mr. Independent. Yeah, couldn't believe I've been saying his name wrong the entire time. My bad. We found out his brother is the drummer, which, okay, when I was watching his performance, there was a clip that I know I talked about it in the first performance. So I don't know, week 2 or 3. And then I cut out my own commentary because I was trying to save on time. But now I can mention it. The drummer does this crazy flip with the drumstick and catches it and keeps drumming. If you drop that, you're screwed. Now, I know that this is probably a pre-recorded drum set. I would think so, just because that's how they do it in Eurovision. But anyway, it's a risky throw, and he caught it. So that was just really fun to find out that's actually his brother. And we have a 3rd outfit this time around. I don't know if I think I like it. It really fits. This time he had kind of like a bulletproof vest type of thing, like a military vest. And I thought that fit. But I liked the outfit from the semifinal as well. And 3 performances in a row. This poor camera guy. I still laugh every time that Grant holds onto the camera and just moves him around and throws him out of the way. So, but otherwise there was nothing else that was really new in this performance. And going to the results. Now, yeah, I just mentioned how Michael Bolton, I was thinking I should have placed him a bit lower with my own predictions. And I specifically was thinking that I should move Grant up higher. But the reason I've always been like wavering on Grant is because I just didn't think the song was necessarily, I guess, like, the song's okay, you know? I didn't think it was like a winning song, but him as a performer and the whole staging, that was all incredible. So I shouldn't be surprised that it placed much higher because as the performance was so good. So looking at the results here, yeah, so jury gave Grant 42 points in 7th place. And then with the audience, though, Grant got 4th place, 324 points. So overall, ended up in 4th place with 366 points. Yeah, and I definitely would agree with, so far this order I'm agreeing with. The only thing that's throwing me off, before we haven't talked about everyone yet, but it's still going to be Riker Lynch. I'm just shocked he got 2nd place. Anyway, we'll get to that. And he did great. Let me preface that. I always have to add my disclaimers. He performed it great. Great singer. Great everything. But the song, I guess like I would just put other songs ahead of it. But he did great. I'm not criticizing him. Okay. Always scared to get mean comments because they really do bring me down, you guys. Okay. Next up. Oh, wait. Pause. They had Alexa and Michael Bolton with Kelly Clarkson. And Kelly Clarkson tells Michael Bolton that he's the GOAT and then gives him a goat necklace. Now, I know I think she even says, "You're the greatest of all time. You're the GOAT." And I don't think he pieced that together, that that's an acronym, greatest of all time. But he gets this goat necklace. I mean, he does not know what's going on. And it is so funny. He just blankly stares into the camera for like way too long while she moves her attention over to Alexa and gives her some sort of helmet thing. And it was so funny. I felt a little sad every time they showed Michael Bolton because I just don't know, like, is he okay? Like, is everything okay? He just doesn't seem like he wants to be there or that he knows where he is. I don't know. I just hope he's okay. But the goat necklace really made me laugh because I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what that means. But I hope he keeps it, and I hope he'll figure out what it means. Anyway, we're moving on. We got number 4 with Nico from Alabama. The Difference was the name of the song. So when I'd seen them walk out in the beginning, I saw her outfit then, and I was like, wow, that is my favorite outfit so far from her. I loved it. But then when the performance started, she had like this like weird little half cape thing. And it did actually look okay from a distance because you'd see the whole train of the cape. But I don't know. The original outfit was also really awesome. So maybe it grew on me a little bit with the cape, but I loved that glittery white jumpsuit thing. It was awesome. This was my favorite performance that they've done. I feel like it's taken all 3 times, and now I'm like, that was really, really good. I thought this was the best singing that they've done so far, but they did change up some of the camera movements or some of the staging where they at least ended up on the other side of each other. This time they had the kiss again, which I wasn't a fan of the first time they performed it. And then I was happy with it the second time because the camera guy panned away. So just as he leans in, you you can tell they're going to kiss, but you don't see it. So I don't know why they changed that back. So now we do see the kiss. I'm fine without seeing the kiss, but you know, I think I thought this song was gonna place a little higher than it did, but it might have been the jury that brought them down. Let me see here. No, I take that back. They actually did pretty well with the jury. Jury placed them fourth with 60 points. The public placed them eighth with 225 points. And overall, they ended up in eighth with 285 points. Okay. Yeah, and I think in my own predictions, I'd place them around fifth. So, but overall, they did great. And I do think, you know, even though they didn't place in the very top, I do think their performance was memorable. And it was really nice to have some variety in the show and that we actually had a duet. So that was really nice. Number 5 was Jordan Smith from Kentucky. Song was Sparrow. And my first comment was the outfit. Best outfit, definitely. I mean, we've made improvements every time. You know, I would say this might be the performance that has improved the most overall the performances. And I feel like there might be some of the most changes with this one too. And I think this was definitely the best one so far. And just, I know I said it last time, but this is one of the few exceptions where I prefer the live performance over the actual studio recording. It is just amazing live. Little sparrow, we can own the sky. There's a better world inside. We don't have to stay here anymore. It's so good. Jordan's voice is incredible. I should really look up other stuff that he's sang because he's won The Voice before. So yeah, I just said this is his best performance so far. Top 3 ? And that is where he ended up. So Jordan Smith ended up in 3rd place with the jury. Nope. Yes. Okay, yes. I was looking at the public vote. 3rd place with the jury, 79 points, and 3rd place with the audience with 328 points. So that all adds up to 3rd place, 407 votes. Or points. I'm sorry. I know I'll be switching up points and votes, and I meant points. I think I did place him 4th in my own predictions. So I feel like, yeah, that's about right. I just didn't think Riker Lynch would beat him, but okay. This is all just a build-up for me to complain about Riker Lynch. I'm kidding. Okay. Now, number 6, Alan Stone from Washington, the song A Bit of Both. Where is he, you guys? So right away in the beginning of the episode, they said that he wasn't going to be performing live due to personal reasons. And I was just like devastated because I'm thinking there's no way he's going to win if he's not there in person. How awkward would that have been? It's like, you won, and then he's not there. Now, you guys know that his song was my favorite. I personally wanted him to win, even though I thought Alexa would win. But what I will say is when they showed the audience, or when they showed the like pre-recording, it was amazing. And honestly, that might have been his best performance out of the 3. Still, that first performance there was something about the lighting in that first performance that I loved. But I did think his final performance was so good. And I do also think that whenever they recorded it, he must not have had nearly as many nerves because he sang it flawlessly, and you could just almost tell there was like, yeah, he was just super confident while singing it. So I almost think that like it was an advantage to at least see that performance because he did it so well. And despite him not being there, he still did really well with the votes. As we know, he did get first from the jury. He ended up with 105 points. And then, let me see here. And then with the audience, he did place 7th with 254 points. Overall, yeah, he ended up in 5th place with 359. I am looking at, so I actually haven't realized this yet with the public results. I am surprised that he placed so low with the public. I mean, I know that not every song is for every person, but I am a little surprised. I thought this would have maybe placed, well, of course, I was hoping he'd win. So I thought he'd place first with the audience. No, but I thought he would at least be in the top 5. I am a bit surprised that he's 7th, but we are moving on. We've got number 7, Tenelle from American Samoa. Song was called Full Circle. Again, best outfit. And I loved her hair this time too. So it was really fun to see how everyone stepped up their outfits. I think, was there an outfit that was worse? I don't think so. No, the only one would maybe be Grant going to that vest, but I think I liked the vest though. Man, everyone stepped it up. I'm scrolling through. Everyone had amazing outfits this time. So yeah, that was a highlight, was just seeing best outfits on the finale. So yeah, now I thought this was probably her best performance that she's done out of the 3. And last time I'd said that for some reason it felt like it was much lower energy from the first performance, but now in the finale, super high energy. I thought she totally gave it 100%, and it was really fun to watch. She's really cute. She was doing these, I don't even know, just little things in between, looking at the camera and big smiles, and I don't know. It was fun to also have the variety in music, and I'm glad that we had, was it the only territory that made it into the finale, I think. So yeah, I thought she did great, and it was really fun to see how much the audience liked her performance as well. Yeah, jury has not been a huge fan of this one. It placed 9th with the jury, 37 points, but audience voted it and gave it 5th place with 305 points. It ended up in 6th place with 342 points. So super happy for her. Now, one thing that was true for this performance, also quite a bit in North Dakota's and with Alexa coming up here, I still feel like a constant issue has been this colorful lighting that they do, where it makes everything too washed out there, and it's not bright enough, which is ironic because they are lights, Yeah, I think it was 3 of these performances. It was I wish I could see them better. She has these a tropical vibe to her song, and when I think tropical, I think bright, colorful. And this was almost just colorful, but dark. It was really, I felt like it was hard to really see everything. And I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with that. But then, perfect transition into number 8. Alexa, Oklahoma, Wonderland, the winning performance. And that was my biggest thing. I really, really loved the new outfit. Best outfit so far. Loved that they went with the red, and she explained why she went with the red this time, because her whole performance has an Alice in Wonderland theme. So this time around, she's trying to be more of the Queen of Hearts. Loved it. Great choice. Not a huge fan of the chair. I mean, like, at first I was like, cool, she's sitting in like a proper throne and being lowered. But then it almost felt like it was too long because now she's trying to like kind of sing us this K-pop song, but while sitting in a chair. So I don't know, it was weird. She like couldn't quite move around until the chair finally planted. But I love the outfit. I love that they were adding the really cool, I guess, video clips of her in the background being the queen. Like, yeah, that all worked. Now, unfortunately, there was so much of this colored lighting that it was hard to actually watch the dancing. It was hard to see all the dancing. And I don't know if this is just a camera issue. Like, is it easier to see in person? Is it our TV specifically? I don't think it is, because I've watched these performances on YouTube as well. But is it just where this show was being held? You know, different stages offer different types of like lighting and you know what? Okay. So we know that she won, and that apparently, because we don't know what the actual like prize is, they mentioned that her song, I guess, is going to go into rotation, which is insane. At least it's going to go in rotation from iHeartRadio. But I think she's performing this Sunday at the, what was it called? It wasn't just called the iHeart Music Awards, was it? Okay, hold on. Okay, I think I finally found it. So if I understood correctly, she'll be performing at the Billboard Awards this Sunday. That's what I heard. So I hope I'm not wrong about that. But what I was going to say is I'm assuming she's going to do this exact performance on a different stage. And maybe we'll really get to see, how they can do the different lighting. It'll be really interesting to see how they do this performance on a different stage. So hopefully we can actually see what's going on. Now, as we know, she won the whole thing, but let me see here. Yeah, the jury has always kind of been middle of the road for her. She was 5th place with the jury with 56 points, and she took 1st place with the public by a whopping 654 points. So about 176. I'm trying to do the math here. Anyway, almost like 176 points more than 2nd place. So yeah, that was a pretty easy win for her. But man, when it came down to just her and Alan Stone, and I'm thinking like, yes, I knew it. These would be the top 2. And then Alan got 5th. Dang it. Anyway, and then after that, we had Tyler Braden, Tennessee, and his song 17. My only comment was it was another solid performance. He's been consistent. He's got a great voice. I don't think they changed anything about the actual performance. So, yeah, I've always just been like fine with his song, but not more than that. But jury loves him. Jury gave him 2nd place with 88 points, but placed 10th with the audience 163 points. Yeah. So that's interesting, right? Like the jury just loves this song, and then that was last place for the audience. So I don't know. I'm glad that the audience had precedence over the jury, though. I feel like that's how it should be. And then finally, we had Riker Lynch from Colorado, song Feel the Love. Not happy with the changes they made on this one. I don't know. Well, there's a couple things. So every time that I don't know about the first time, but certainly for the semifinal and the final, there would be these like colored graphics on the edge of the screen. I didn't like it. It's like it's already hard to see everything because there's so much going on. They decide to literally block part of your view by putting these like pastel tie-dye things on the side. So anyway, I mean, it's only there for part of the song, but I don't think it adds anything. Just kind of makes it harder to see. But the other thing they were going to do was apparently his wife was going to join him on stage. And I mean, I guess it's fine. Part of me thinks, did she just want to get on stage somehow? Or because they're talking about Feel the Love and it's his wife, so maybe there is that connection. But I don't know. It was fine, but I don't think it like added anything to the performance. Also did not realize how sudden the song ends. I've clearly missed that the past 2 times, but this time, maybe because they're literally like on their backs and they're crowd surfing, and then the song just ends, and now he's just like stuck there, and they're like still holding him. But after that, they did the results. So let me see. Yeah, so I said they, announced the points Eurovision style, but I also really liked that they actually had former contestants announcing the results from each region. I forget how many regions they ended up having, like 6 or 7 or something. And so that was fun that we got to see one last moment of Ryan Charles, New Boot Goofin. We got to see a few other performers that had been eliminated earlier. So we found out Alexa is the winner. And then today I was on Reddit and somebody posted a video clip. Alexa's trophy breaks. Alexa puts the trophy down and then the top part falls off and then both pieces hit the floor and you see another chunk fly off. And so I was thinking like, I thought maybe I had missed it or that the camera didn't show it. And then rewatching the ending today, this must have happened after cameras stopped rolling, but someone from the audience was filming. And so anyway, poor trophy. I hope it was fixable. I mean, also, how is it that poorly manufactured? Would have been way funnier if it happened while the show was still live. But anyway, in case you had missed that, putting it on the screen here for you guys. And then just overall with the results, I would say it's pretty spot on, with the exception of Riker Lynch. I don't know. I've already said it several times, but I said I'd come back to it and talk about it more. It's a catchy song for sure, but I guess I just didn't think it'd be second place. I mean, I was starting to get worried. I'm like, is Riker Lynch gonna win this? Because that would have been maybe the craziest ending. He was in the lead for like 5 or 6 contestants, and then Alexa then took over. But I think in my own results that I had made, I think I had placed him in like 6th place or something. Actually, no, I have that on the previous page. What did I rank him? Yeah, I gave him 6th place in my own rankings. All right, well, that concludes the American Song Contest for 2022. I haven't heard if they're renewing it for a second season. I think, it always maybe takes a little bit after the first season ends, but I've been saying it the entire time. I think that this show absolutely has potential to develop a large following. We just need to give it some time. And, I think it could definitely use some adjustments as well. I mean, the fact that we never even had like individual state competitions, that's a huge reason why I think a lot of people don't even know about it, right? What could also be interesting is, will the competition be in Oklahoma next year? That could be cool too. If anything, I bet Oklahoma is, I mean, they never get this much attention, right? So that could be really exciting for Oklahoma to have a big like national event there, broadcasted every week. We'll see. At least the finale, right? Maybe they could have the semifinals in LA again, or it would be fun if they would move those semifinals around too. So I think that wraps it up. I think I've said pretty much everything there is to say about this competition. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I feel like ideally I could have had guests along the way. You know, in general, I think podcasts flow better when there are two people. So not this year, but you know, those are things that I'd plan to do for the future, and hopefully maybe even get like a second channel going so I can just migrate all of my Eurovision, American Song Contest, mellow stuff. Like maybe I can do just like way more content on a second channel in the future. So it just comes down to how much time I have. Maybe one day this will be my full-time job. That would be great. So anyway, I just appreciate everyone who's tuned in and listened and commented, and I'd love to know your thoughts. Did you think Alexa would win? Did you want Alexa to win? And then I'm not done yet with the song contest, you guys. We're going right into Eurovision. So even though this is the last episode of the American Song Contest, I feel like it only makes sense to have at least one more podcast episode where I maybe do my little deep dive into Eurovision. We'll see. There's a lot to go through with Eurovision. So, yeah, that might take an extra week for it to come out, but I do think I'll be uploading some sort of Eurovision discussion because it only seems fitting, right? You can't just like end and not talk about Eurovision. So thanks you guys for watching. And as always, if you can like, comment, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Hej då!